We've had a quiet night up the river in Fowey, and today the weather forecast is for fairly brisk winds, but mainly from the west, pretty much behind us, and we thought reasonably comfortable. So we made our way to the harbour entrance and headed east.
Well, we're leaving Fowey behind now quite quickly. Plenty of wind, over 20 knots, and the sea's not too bad. And we're heading for Salcombe. Well, here it is on the chart plotter. There's Fowey, where we've just left, and here's Salcombe with Plymouth in the middle, and we're doing 6.4 knots over the ground, so we've got some tide with us, and the sea state's quite reasonable really. Sorry about the roly-rollies, but we are roly-rollying.
The wind gradually came round until it was right behind us, so I boomed out the Genoa, fitted a boom preventer, and we sailed wing on wing, rolling gently in the following sea. It's time for morning tea, kettle's boiling. We're just passing Plymouth. This little boat is Astrius with Keith on board, who we met in Fowey. He left before us this morning to return to Plymouth, and we've just caught up with him as he turns towards the entrance to Plymouth. Fair winds, Keith, it was good to meet you. On we went, rolling downwind mile after mile, but it did seem to take ages to pass Plymouth, and the following sea was getting bigger. Then the wind shifted a bit more south, so in order to keep the wind on our stern, we headed more inshore.
We're heading for the River Yelm over there at the moment. No intention of going in there, but we're straight downwind, and we need to turn about 20-30 degrees to starboard, so when we get a bit closer to the land we'll jibe everything and hopefully have a broad reach all the way up to Salcombe.
You might wonder why I furled the Genoa. The wind is in that awkward direction where the main just blankets the Genoa. I suppose I could boom it out, but fighting with a booming out pole on this rolling foredeck is not appealing, so I furled it. As it is, we're pretty much up to hull speed with just the main.
Well, we're well past Plymouth over here. The River Yelm. This is Bigbury Bay, as you can see, and Salcombe's here, and we're about 12 miles from the headland where we turn north into Salcombe. Speed over the ground at the moment 5.6 knots. It has been quite a bit more than that on occasions. The wind is quite variable. What does it say at the moment? 21 knots at the moment on the wind, and quite an energetic sea, but we're all right. Bit of a mess down below. We've had a couple of really big rolls, and that's overwhelmed the tidying. Yes, it's certainly an interesting sea at the moment. Boy, oh boy.
We're getting closer now. That's Bolt Head up ahead. We have to round that to get to the entrance of Salcombe. It's always a bit daunting when you see the waves breaking against the Mewstones, but we're quite safe if you give them a decent berth.
And there's Salcombe, waiting for us. We've been waiting to see it all day. It's been pretty rough, but much nicer in here. But still got the tide with us, it's great. Well, here we are at the top of the bag in Salcombe. Just dropped the hook. A few other boats up here anchored as well. A bit breezy, but okay. And we've had quite a challenging day sailing, but here safely, no problems.
And that, you might think, is that. However, as morning approached and I lay in that half asleep, half awake state, I heard this. That sounds like a pencil rolling down the chart table. Why would it do that? And when I attempted to get out of my bunk, I found it very difficult, and as you can see, we are aground, properly this time.
Dave's mucked up. We're on the bottom, and we got about another 20 minutes or so before the tide turns and lifts us back up again. Embarrassing, to say the least.
But all's well that ends well. The stove hadn't run out of gimbal, and we made a cup of tea and waited until the low water point passed, and then rolled back into our bunks. By morning we were well afloat, and we moved a few tens of feet further out to avoid it happening again. Thanks for watching. The next video takes us across Lyme Bay to Portland. It would be lovely to have you along. Bye bye for now.